I realized I was undocumented. My family and I migrated from Michoacan, Mexico. We came when I was 5 years old. Out of my mother's frustration came my drive to become an immigration attorney. I went to law school thinking that I was always going to be an immigration attorney. I have about 13 clients.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, I was coming here to a place where people like me were being detained. I texted friends and family. I let them know where I was headed, and I told them that if they didn't hear from me by the end of the day, to please contact my mentor and law professor, because I might not walk out. I came to UC Riverside because I really felt at home. During one of the first tours, the very first tours that I see is like Chicano student programs. That for me stood out because no other university I had gone to visit had anything like that. It wasn't really until UCR that I became more socially aware of political issues, that I realized that undocumented had meant much more than not being able to apply for a driver's license. I realized that there was an illegal component to it, and I started to learn of the various challenges that we faced as an undocumented community and how others saw us within society. Because back at home, it didn't carry much more than not being able to drive. I promised her, I told her, like, Mom, you know what, I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna be your attorney one day. That was the goal from high school, and it was what drove me through college, through community college, through UCR, and through law school. It holds a very dear place in my heart. I grew up so much as a person, became a young professional because of UCR. My caseload has evolved throughout my time here at MDEF. It's ranged from children being in deportation proceedings to adults who have been deemed incompetent by the court. And so now I'm representing more families as a unit. Your conditions in Adelanto are really bad. But I think when you add family separation to that, it only adds a factor that the majority of my clients right now are seeking asylum here in the US, but I do have some who have residency or who do have legal status, but are now being in deportation proceedings because of a criminal history. I went to law school thinking that I was always going to be an immigration attorney. And so when I was ready to practice and started practicing here with the Immigrant Defenders Law Center, I really didn't have anything else to compare it to. I thought, like, man, this is harder than I thought. This is some tough stuff. The very first time that I came to Adelanto, I was terrified. I didn't know what to expect, but I knew that I had to come. I wanted to. I was just scared that they might find out that I was undocumented, technically deportable. And so I was coming here to a place where people like me were being detained. I think that I carry with me like this cloak of like an attorney that protects me or shields me from the presumption of what a typical undocumented immigrant is. It took me quite a bit of time to get a first win. It was a lot of denials. It was sad, demoralizing in a way. I used to doubt my ability as an attorney because I used to get so many denials. But after talking to colleagues and supervisors, they told me, like, you just came in at a very difficult time. And they told me, you have to consider that we are taking a lot of cases that no other attorney would. I'm here about 2 or 3 times a week, and I have clients detained here. My clients are fleeing persecution in their home countries. They have seen or suffered extreme violence, primarily in Central America. There's so much civil unrest in Central America, and they have nowhere else to go but to the US. We place them in centers like the one behind me without the ability of fighting their case outside. So they must find an attorney, gather all the documentation, gather witness and everything from within detention because they are considered arriving aliens. I just cannot imagine how somebody who just arrived into this country, who was detained, can go about securing counsel without organizations like the one I'm working for. Immigrant Defenders Law Center is a direct legal service provider. Our model is like universal rep, and we try to accept as many clients as possible, regardless of the strength of their case. Just because we believe that nobody should go to court alone, especially children. I make a difference in people's lives. I try to say that in the most humblest way because I think it's such a privilege to be able to afford somebody help in a very humane way. A lot of my clients are so used to being treated unfairly that it comes to a surprise or to a shock when they're treated like a person. But just having one client be grateful and to know that they appreciate the work that you're doing for them and to know that they are in good hands, for me that's enough, and for me that puts value in the type of work that I do.